This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com, wearing one of my great The Hannibal TV sweaters that you can buy through our merchandise page, link in the description, or at the HannibalTV.com. I'm here in beautiful Arizona where I just finished a wonderful night run. Hit the gym earlier today. It's nice to run outside and not be in minus 20-degree weather. It's actually quite euphoric. One note before I get into the Wrestling Observer review, since I have been doing in-person interviews out here, and there have been some complaints about my live streams, I only do those to get the fan questions. They are shot with a cell phone. I do record them also with a high-definition camera with good audio. However, the only way to get the fan questions is through a live stream cell phone feed. Therefore, if you don't like the quality, if let's say like yesterday, I'm at Don Fry's place out in the mountains past Tucson where there's not a strong Wi-Fi, wait for the high definition to come out. Otherwise, it's the only way you're going to be able to interact with these legends. And I know a lot of you appreciate it because I got a lot of your questions in. Mark Kerr, I'm going to be interviewing tomorrow. Tank Abbott on Monday. There was also Rob Schneider yesterday hanging out at Don Fry's house with Dan Severin. And I actually really liked him. I have to say, there's a lot of clips of him coming out. And I used to work at a comedy club bouncing, and I didn't like most of the acts, to be perfectly honest with you, but I found Rob Schneider hilarious. But I'm going to get into the news now because you guys are tuning in for my Wrestling Observer review. Again, in this hotel I'm at right now, the Wi-Fi is really, really poor. So I'm streaming this on my cell phone, reading from my computer. I'm going to be back in Texas later next week, staying at a place with better quality Wi-Fi. But I'm glad I'm not in Texas this week because it's cold there, and it is beautiful here. It's been sunny and 75 degrees every day. Beautiful women here, beautiful scenery as well. I've been climbing mountains. It's a lot of fun. Tom Cole, former WWE ring boy that received a settlement from WWE related to some scandalous stuff that allegedly went down with some WWE independent contractors, killed himself via hanging on February 12th at the age of 50. I've covered this guy to death. I interviewed his brother, Lee Cole, who I didn't find fully credible, to be perfectly honest with you. According to reports I've received, Mel Phillips is dead. Terry Garvin is dead. Pat Patterson is dead. This all happened like 30 years ago. I'm not going to go back into it. Sorry that he passed away. Obviously, he had mental health issues. That Ring Boy scandal, by the way, had coverage on the Phil Donahue show. Larry King, Geraldo Rivera was also in the New York Post. It was a big scandal in the early 90s. And they don't have ring boys anymore. From what I understand, the referees mostly set up the rings and they use union crews or arena crew members. It's not teenage boys anymore. And WWE is a corporate company on the stock market now. I can't see anything like this happening again. Dwayne Johnson's new TV series, Young Rock, did a 1.01 rating, and there's going to be 11 episodes. The first one aired February the 16th. So I didn't see it yet. Some of my viewers told me to watch it. They enjoyed it. I've been really busy this week and really enjoying myself here, and honestly not even thinking or caring about much to do with wrestling other than my actual work that I've had to do. So I'll get around to watching it eventually. There's more drama with WWE talent who work one day a week, don't even have to travel now, and make six figures to millions of dollars, whining that now WWE has informed them that they can't make money through their social media accounts, through Twitter or Instagram sponsorships anymore. I guess several of the lady wrestlers were making in the six figures in that, but I interviewed Trevor Murdoch on the Inside SWE Fury podcast this week, along with my co-host James Beard. We're on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. And Trevor, for instance, said he didn't even look at his contract when he signed it. He was so excited to sign it. I was signed by WWE. As much as people like to bash me, I was signed long before Kevin Owens, but I failed the medical because Abdullah the Butcher passed me hepatitis C through an unsanitary cutting incident, and it got rescinded. But when I signed, I had to get a lawyer to notarize it. But I didn't have a lawyer review the full thing. So if you complain about the restrictions of a contract, maybe you should have a lawyer review it. And if you still don't like it, maybe you could try and sue them and see where that gets you. Maybe you'll lose your job then, though, but you don't want to lose your job because it's them that promote you and make you an international star and give you the value to get those sponsorships. So I don't have sympathy for them. I was getting gas tonight, and some guy had his kid come up to me and ask for money for the family because they didn't have a place to fucking stay. I have sympathy for those fucking people, not these fucking whiny pieces of shit WWE wrestlers that are fucking spoiled brats, in my opinion. And they're shit. They put out a crap product. I can't even sit through 30 seconds of their product. So I don't have any sympathy for these very wealthy talent that are very spoiled. WWE had several meetings this past week with employees being told that a lot of the bonuses, raises, and promotions that some were expecting are not going to happen. Some employees are getting 64 shares of WWE stock worth $3,000, but not all. Now, WWE is making more money than ever through their billion-dollar deal, signing with the Peacock network. They're hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars. Well, actually, it's hundreds of thousands a year, or hundreds of millions a year, sorry. Hundreds of millions a year from Fox and USA. They're making a lot of money, but the current product sucks. So other than the people making those TV deals, making those deals that are worth the millions and billions of dollars, I don't think anyone does deserve a raise because the product itself is absolute shit. I mean, there are some good people in the company. I don't hate them all, but I'm just sick. Wrestlers are supposed to be tough, and it just seems all these WWE people do is whine, and they're spoiled. All these people that have lost their jobs and their businesses, some have lost their houses during the lockdown, and people actually have sympathy for these spoiled, rich wrestlers. Give me a fucking break. Lacey Evans, who's 30 years old, is pregnant. The pregnancy has been written into the WWE storyline. Fightful is reporting that a new NXT show, tentatively called NXT Evolve, will be starting out. This will be going off of the Evolve company that went out of business. They only had 30,000 YouTube subscribers, but for some reason, everybody talks about Evolve like it was something special. To me, it was crap, which is why it went out of business. But WWE technically bought them. Someone pointed out to me today that the Hannibal TV has more views and subscribers than any independent wrestling company, which could very well be true. I do, in monthly views, regularly beat Ring of Honor, always beat MLW and NWA, always beat New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I'm not doing too bad for myself, and I really thank the fans for the support. I truly thank all of you for the support. There's going to be an appeal to the Supreme Court related to the WWE concussions lawsuit. I think they're really grasping at straws at this point with that lawsuit. WWE has been going on a hiring spree of about 25 new hirees reportedly. The biggest names include Taya Valkyrie from Impact, who was also in PCW Ultra and is married to John Morrison, who I do like John Morrison, by the way. But he's not one of the ones I've even heard complaining. Taya and Eli Drake, who I've interviewed, he's signed. I forget what his new name's going to be. Bunch of other names I've never heard of. Meltzer's reporting that Davey Boy Smith Jr., well, it hasn't been confirmed that he's signed. It's believed that he's going to be coming in. It's not clear whether it's going to be the UK brand. Meltzer reports he could wind up anywhere. Of course, Davey Boy Smith Jr. is wrestling Jon Moxley on the Bloodsport event this weekend, and he is wrestling the Blood Hunter on the SWE event in Carthage, Texas next weekend, where the Blood Hunter will be managed by the best manager in professional wrestling, in my opinion, Selena De La Renta, which, by the way, there's going to be a new Selena De La Renta match on this channel soon. I'm looking forward to that. I really admire her. She's my favorite manager in wrestling as a wrestling fan. And I have to say, Blood Hunter and Davey Boy Smith Jr. are two of the best wrestlers in the world today. Davey Boy Smith Jr. is definitely the best technical wrestler, and I believe the Blood Hunter is the best brawler. So should be very interesting, and that could very well be Davey Boy Smith Jr.'s last independent match before going to WWE in Carthage, Texas next weekend. I'll be there covering that event. Hip hop pop star Bow Wow is training under Rikishi. He wants to go in WWE against Bad Bunny. I should just go to sleep now, shouldn't I? MVP suffered a leg injury on Raw. Speedy recovery to him. I did know him when we were in Deep South wrestling together. NXT did a 0.16 coming off their big takeover show. They had a sellout of 100 fans at the Performance Center. AEW did a 0.31 rating with 650 fans at that taping. Raw did a 0.57 rating with no sports competition. SmackDown on Fox did a 0.57. Teddy Hart, a.k.a. Edward Anus, 41 years old, is, according to Dave Meltzer, back in jail in Fort Worth, Texas, on charges of evading arrest, injuring a child, elderly slash disabled person. And I said this when I initially reported this. I don't know if it's all three or one of those three. And possession of a controlled substance. I used to be very good friends with Ted. I do not hate Ted, but I hope that he can get himself together and get on a better path. Dave Meltzer pointing out that Terry Funk is supposed to be making an appearance at SWE Fury next weekend in Carthage. As of today, he still has not backed out of that event. There's some rumors floating around that he might be not feeling up to going, but I'll know more about this tomorrow. There is a chance that on my way back from Arizona to Texas, I may be doing a shoot interview with Terry Funk. I might be stopping off in Amarillo at the Double Cross Ranch if he's up for it. I will know more in the coming days. I hope that can happen. And I'm sad to hear that his health isn't doing well. And I really hope he's able to make it. But if he's not, it's still going to be a great card. And that town, Carthage, Texas, is going to allow up to 1,300 fans in the building, which would make it the highest attended wrestling event in all of wrestling so far in 2021. If they actually get the 1,300 fans. For the last event in Irving, Texas, they had 500 fans, but they actually had to turn away 200 fans due to COVID restrictions. And for the people that commented on some of those pictures from those shows, oh, COVID party, blah, 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 blah. I'll knock on wood right now. I've been to numerous SWE events now to cover them. I have not caught it. It's a risk I'm willing to take. There's like a 99.8% recovery rate. It may never go away. The vaccine might not even work. Thank you, Joe Money, for the super sticker. At some point, you got to live your fucking life. I'm glad got the fuck out of Canada. It's a miserable, shitty prison-like place to live right now. I'm having the time of my life here. I'm happy for the first time in a year. So if you got a fucking problem with people that attend those events, don't go to them. Don't go to them. Watch them, look at the pictures. But if people like me want to go to them and don't mind risking being sick for a week or whatever if I do catch something, then just let me do it. Because I could get run over. I could get in a car accident driving back to Texas from Arizona. You could die at any time. I'm not going to live my life in misery, live my life like a prison, because that's just a miserable existence to live, and I don't want to do it. So keep your fucking mouth shut. Don't harass me over that kind of crap. Also on the card is going to be Lacey Von Erich, Mark Henry, Tim Storm, the Boogeyman, Rodney Mack, Jazz Molina, Davey Boy Smith Jr., the Blood Hunter, Selena De La Renta, Mil Mortes, champion, Charlie Haas, former NWA champion, Jax Dane, Crimson, Christy James, the women's champion, Miranda Gordy. By the way, Miranda Gordy, I'll give a scoop for you guys. According to some reliable sources, and I'm not talking about anyone in the office of SWE, and I'm not talking about Miranda, but I've heard through the grapevine that Miranda Gordy, former SWE Fury heavyweight champion or women's champion, I like her a lot, but she's getting WWE tryout Monday and Tuesday, according to the reports I've got from some credible people. So good luck to you, Miranda. Be sorry to see you leave SWE if you go there, but you're a great wrestler, and I'd like to see you in there, and I'd like you to make some of that WWE money. SWE Fury results from their TV show this past week, which is on the Hannibal TV, and we have new episodes every Tuesday night at 8. And by the way, they've just been added. They're on over 30 million homes, but they just added their TV show in Lubbock, Texas as well, which I know is a future town they want to go to. But Angel Camacho defeated Guido Vane, and Angel got injured falling off the ropes. The Blood Hunter defeated the Bible Club in a handicap match. Rob Moore, the voice of Texas Wrestling, received an award from James Beard and Tim Storm, rather, on behalf of SWE Fury. The Real Deal, Nobi Bryant defeated AJ Barrett. The alluring Jasmine Allure, who wrestles on AEW Dark all the time, defeated Livy Loca. Rodney Mack defeated Bam Bam Malone. And the match where Christy Janes won the women's title from Miranda Gordy was on this week's episode. So search it up on the Hannibal TV. Not much UFC news. The prelims for UFC 258 did a 0.29 rating. 58-year-old Keiji Moto, aka the Great Muta, won the Pro Wrestling Noah GHC heavyweight title on February 12th. And he also signed a 2-year deal with the company. We have a new member. Lewis Perkins became a new member. I'm trying to put it up on the screen. Thanks for the info, Jefferson Lewis. There is going to be a members only live stream tomorrow night with the grappler Lynn Denton. So check that out tomorrow night. I believe it's going to be at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Hannibal TV. Gabrielle Dean, one of our regulars, wants me to go to Minnesota for the Jesse Ventura interview. He's in Mexico this time of year, and I'm not going to Minnesota when it's this bad weather. I would go there in the summer in the future. Would I interview Tito Ortiz? I have interviewed. Would I fight Tito Ortiz if the money's right? I was a bouncer off and on from 2001 to 2018. I've been attacked. I've been attacked over 200 times. I wouldn't say all of those are fights because some of those were short, very short, with drunken idiots, and others involved multiple attackers in gang situations. So it all depends on the payoff. I'm beyond the point of fighting for free, and I'm doing really well with my channel. And I'm now also interview producer for SWE Fury. So I think I have more potential in wrestling, which I've dedicated my life to, and also doing UFC interviews and UFO interviews, than getting my brains more hits, because it's actually my brains that have made me more money than my fists in my life. So I should really protect my brain because that's what's going to make me my money. I was hanging out with Don Fry yesterday, and he's in a lot of pain, and you can see the effects that fighting career had on him. Okay, he's in extreme pain. He's on a lot of medication. So it's not all glory, the fight game. And I am in my 30s now. I do have a fighting background, but this is not the time to be entering the fight game. I wanted to get into it in my 20s, but everybody knows my story. I'm not going to explain the whole thing. There's a movie about it called This Is Hannibal, if anyone wants to look it up. It won 3 awards at the LA Movie Awards. But you know what? I am hungry. Need some protein in my system. Need to feed the beast. It's time for a feeding so I can go and train 2 or 3 times tomorrow, hang out with Mark Kerr, get some training tips from him, then go back and train harder, get stronger, get bigger, get ready to fight, duke it out, whether it's in the street when I'm running, if I run into some gangs, whether it's anywhere, doesn't matter. Hannibal will always be ready.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot